Well, welcome to our weekly Thursday webinar where we talk about the absolute best commission comp plan, support, and growth platform in the industry. I'm Ramon Walker, CEO and president, and excited to have you guys on today to talk about this this exciting opportunity that will bring you a tremendous amount of value. All right. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. We'll kind of go through all of the value propositions. We'll talk about, again, the commission structure, all the attributes that Client Direct brings you. And then we'll go into our BrokerAIQ platform, which is our proprietary software, can't be bought by anybody else, built by Client Direct for Client Direct loan officers. So without further ado, let's jump in. All right. So first, everybody likes to talk about the money, right? It's what I talk about a lot. You'll see me out on social media talking about it. And there's so much or so lack of transparency in our business, unfortunately. And this goes from the top down, whether you're talking about retail, some of the worst, and even what we found in the broker channel, right? Before, brokers are better. Well, not necessarily. Really depends on what broker you're working with. And you have to understand what's going to be the best option for you and your family, not just getting to the broker channel, but within the broker channel. And that's what I want people to really start to analyze. So let's talk about, in particular, what we have to offer at Client Direct. $495 per file. Okay. Now, I want to be extremely clear. This is about transparency. You should be able to do a simple calculation. Okay. And even before that, you know what you're going to make on a loan. You lock the loan. You have a number in your mind because you charge the client a certain amount. Okay. Now, once it gets into the payroll department, there shouldn't be anything incredible happening that will substantially change what you're thinking you're going to get, right? And that's what, in a very simple form, that's what we're doing here at Client Direct. So $495 flat fee. If you have $5,000 commission, you're going to get $4,505, right? Very simple. No additional fees, no additional holdbacks, no margins, any of that stuff. And that's a good segue into the next bullet points. We have 22 non-delegated lenders, okay? I'm in control of the lenders. I'm the only owner of Client Direct Mortgage, okay? I set the margins. I set the holdbacks. I've set them at zero. Client Direct Mortgage only makes money off of the $495 per file. There's nothing additional. There's nothing hidden. What that means is that you get the absolute best rates. If you're at Barrett Financial, you are going to get hit with 25 basis points holdback at least. And this is bad. You might say, well, I don't do correspondent. I broker. Well, guess what? Even if you only broker loans, when you set that margin in correspondent to have a holdback, it hits the broker's rate sheet too. It just makes it worse. They can't collect that as a company, like Barrett can't collect that money. But just so the rates match, so when you go in and you don't see wholesale being better than correspondent, they adjust the broker rate sheet negatively by the same amount as the holdback. So you're still affected. Okay. I want people to understand that because I've been hearing that rebuttal, right? Oh, I just broker. Doesn't matter. If your company has a holdback on a correspondent side, your overall rates are inferior no matter which channel you're using. Okay. So you guys got to be extremely clear here. This is about education from somebody that started off as a broker and all the way to a 22 partner investor, non-delegated lender. So we did this all on our own, right? So I really learned this business in and out. And I started to see what I consider some of the ugly things that the owners do to pull money, extract money, basically. Monetize. So here at Client Direct, we have zero holdbacks, zero margins. You're going to get the rates as though you're the owner of Client Direct Mortgage. You're me, okay? $495, no margins, no holdbacks. Just really want to stress this. So I have to address everything, because then it's like, well, where's the game, Ramon? Right? There is no game, right? There's no additional fees in box A, no markup. So what I mean by no markup in box A, if you're doing a correspondent loan through Rocket, the fee is $9.99 to Rocket, the acquisition fee, underwriting fee. I'm not coming back over the top and saying the fee is $1,200 so I can keep $200, right? That happens too. There's a lot of that out there. So you have to be careful. There's so many traps for the loan officer to lose money, right? So you got to remember, all these dollars are dollars that could come back into your pocket. If they're not going into the owner's pocket, they're going into yours or the client's. So I'm going to pass through exactly what the underwriting fee is from whichever investor you're using. Some investors are down to $6.99. Bet you guys didn't know that, right? No, you're not told it. You're not told it, right? So now you are. So you'll be able to either and let's say you charge the client $1,500 on the underwriting fee. So you decide you want to do that, and it's $9.99. So what happens? Well, that $501 gets added onto your commission. So if you were making $6,000 minus by $4.95, that'd be $5,500, plus you have an extra $500 on there from the difference between the underwriting fee that you charged. I'm going to teach classes about this in our BrokerAIQ training down the road. Well, I'll explain this in further detail, okay? But I'm empowering you, right? I'm giving you amazing margins, right? The real margins, the real raw rates, okay? And I'm showing you how they make money so you can make the money. All right, very good. You can bank or broker. I don't care. What do I care? I'm at $4.95 a file. Do what you want, right? I'm not going to push you in one direction or the other. When the motivations start to change because of the structure, you'll notice the actions from the lender change too. And when the actions from the lenders that you work with, or the brokers that you work with, are a certain way, you have to ask yourself why. And I hope that made sense. What I'm simply trying to say is, if they push you to the correspondent line over brokering, it's because they're trying to make they got extra money in there, right? That's what so that complex statement was simply to say that. If they are trying to push you in a certain direction, it's because there's some kind of game there. There should be freedom. Freedom. Your brokers. Freedom. People don't like freedom. They like to keep you in a box, okay? Push you, control you. No more control, not at client direct. So I'll take all the brunt, all the name calling, everything else, because I'm exposing the truth, okay? I'm going to continue to, from the mountaintops, talk about this, because this is the most important thing, this slide. Okay, paydays every Friday. Nice and simple. You're not waiting 30 days for your money. All right. So what are some of the attributes that we have? Okay. We are approved in 34 states. We have live phone support from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. We do company processing. That is a separate $9.99 per file charged to the client. Okay. We have contract processors. So listen, we have all kinds of labor to help you get your loan done. Don't worry about that. So we'll talk about that more later. Proprietary support platform. That's the BrokerAIQ logo you see down here. Good morning, Joe. I didn't see that little message over there on the left. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for coming back, brother. All right. So let's see. 120 wholesale lenders. So we have plenty of lenders, every product you want under the sun. And we show you how we have a special way of navigating those products as well. So I'm going to explain that in the BrokerAIQ. 22 correspondent lenders, more correspondent lender partners than any other broker or hybrid company in the market. Who am I comparing myself to? C2 Financial, eMortgage Capital, Expert. And Expert is terrible. That was a former number one UWM account executive that runs that company. She won't even let you send anything any other place than UWM. Okay. uMortgage, Edge. Oh, they're probably the worst. I know people love Tom, and Tom's a nice guy, but as far as a loan officer being productive and being able to actually grow, their structure is the worst out of all of them. Maybe a tie between Edge and Nexa, right? So, but they'll preach different things, and we're going to explain what some of those differences are. Remember, I personally was a top originator. I went from $0, okay, to making a substantial amount more by myself as a broker. I never would have went to these companies. I couldn't have done it. Their comp structures did not allow for enough revenue to get in my pockets for the reinvestment that was required to catapult, to shoot off. It takes money to reinvest in yourself to be successful in this business. You can't be, if you have the opportunity for a 1099 structure and your state doesn't require you to be W-2, which are like 6 of them in the United States of America, only 6 of them require, then you need to be 1099. So you can take that cash flow, put it back into your business, buy leads, do things for realtors, whatever it is, whatever your strategy is. Look at the opportunity to do things. You don't even look at the opportunity because you don't have the cash flow. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. I'm going to show you exactly how I did it, and it was better than any of those failed owners when they were trying to be producers. Hortus was trying to be a producer, failed. eMortgage Capital guys tried to be produced, failed. All these guys started out trying to be producers, and all of them failed and went to this low model platform. So they can't give you the instruction and the guidance on how to properly utilize the broker channel to catapult. There's one that is. I just don't want to be a negative Nancy. Twan Nguyen is good, right? He knows how to do it. And myself. We're the 2 in the broker channel that have been around that can really, truly show you how to reinvest in your business and the proper structure to be under in order to catapult. I'm tired of seeing loan officers in the broker channel with such low per capita, right? You look at Nexa, the loan officers close 0.5 loans per month. How do you live off of that? I have 3,000 LOs. So what? You guys are closing 900 loans. What is going on? I would never be able to survive like that. Edge, thousands of LOs, don't even close 1 per month. eMortgage Capital, C2, everybody the same thing. They try to say, oh, this is, we let people do what they want. And if you're part-time, that's fine. But I doubt that percentage of the company are part-time. I doubt that percentage of the company don't want to do more deals than 0.3 a month. And it's just the strategies and support are not there. And most importantly, not enough money is getting back in those guys' pockets to be able to reinvest in their business. Okay, let's continue on. All right, 1099. Well, I kind of addressed that. And these are the states that we're not in, that you have to do W-2. All right, rolling. And then, a lot of people are visual. And I'm a student. I'll forever be a student and a teacher at the same time. So I teach a lot, but at the same time, I'm out there learning. And we all learn different ways. There's visual. There's, some people from reading comprehension. Some people need to see things baked out. And that's what this is, the calculator. So please go to our website. And in the top portion of our website, you can calculate out what your income is versus what it would be, what your income is at your current place of sponsorship versus what it would be at our company. You see a lot of them I put out against Edge, and those guys went ballistic, so vile. And the things that they were saying about disgusting, right? From simply doing what? Taking the production from one loan officer, we built the formula into here, the compensation. So you see their compensation, and then you see client direct compensation, and you see the difference. And we presented that. Oh, and they got so mad. Why? Because of the downline, the recruitment. They're making money off of other loan officers. They don't want this narrative out there. They don't want people to consider a different way, right? But too bad. We're here. We're going to talk about facts. We're going to talk about our split. We're going to talk about compensation, and we're going to talk about how it's better. And everybody else can talk about whatever it is they want. But we are going to continue to bring the best to the loan officer. And this calculator shows you. It helps you get a visual, helps you get your head around what the truth is outside of all the narrative that's trying to be pushed in your direction. That's not what I consider the truth and not my lived experiences, not what I did in 2012 to become a broker. I was a broker. I didn't work with anybody, no experience. That's the thing. I wasn't tarnished by the industry. I just came out on my own, started to learn, and I built my own business and have my own perspectives. So I don't have this groupthink like everyone else. Right. And luckily, I didn't fall into these traps. There's so many traps, and I would have as well. I'm not special in any way, shape, or form. It just happened to be the path that God sent me on. And shoot, maybe wanted me to end up right here talking to you, right? And I strongly believe that. But let's continue on. All right. So BrokerAIQ. Before I was in mortgage, I have like 2 careers, 2 healthy careers, right? I'm probably about 8 years in IT. And then after that, a little stint, I got my real estate broker's license in California. My grandmother was in real estate. That's why I got it. And around the financial crisis, I started to transition out of a corporate job into real estate. I learned about asset management companies. I learned about BPOs. I went out and took all my appraisal courses, although I never got licensed. I didn't take the test to get licensed, but I still really got knowledgeable about appraising. And I made a relationship with like Wells Fargo and a couple other places. And I sold REOs for a couple of years. Then as that started to wind down, then I discovered like, I don't want to be a realtor. Like this wasn't I'm too analytical, right? So it's like, I do have a personality, if you will. I can attach to people and well-spoken and engaging and all that sort of stuff. But a big part of me is sort of like this nerdy guy, right? And I just like to get on my computer and just kind of like, build things. And that's what we did right here with this platform, right? So 2012, we decided to go the broker route. And we went that broker route, and we had substantial success, right? The first year stumbled, I was like, oh my God, what's a 1003 in a GFE? Second, third, fourth year, then when we start to propel. 20 million, 40 million, 60 million, ultimately getting up to $270 million per year with my team of 5. I was the only originator. So we really rock and rolled at that time. A lot of what we built out, a lot of what we did is threaded in me and was delivered as part of this system that we have in place now, the BrokerAIQ. Because what it's really about, not to say that you guys want to come in here and be some 50 unit per month sort of loan officer. That's not what it's about. I don't care if you want to be a 2 unit or 50 unit. What I don't want you to be is a 0.2 unit, right? I want you to come in here and be able to get a couple checks a month. That's what I'm trying to do for you, right? So it's like all these things, all this platform, all this support is to free up your time so you can go out there and do income producing activities. When I was a top originator, I said all the time, and I always had this check, I could only be 1 degree away from income producing activities. If I got caught up in processing, slap myself. Stop, Ramon, let the team handle it, right? Get back in there, talk to people about a new deal, new money. You only talk about new money. You don't talk about money that's already in our pipeline, in our water flow, okay? So that's the mentality. This platform and system is going to help you with the support. It's going to help you with the growth, being introduced to realtors, right? And engaging them. Not only giving you more time back, but showing you how to spend your time and pointing you in a direction of the individuals out there that can help get you a loan in the pipeline. These are things that are not talked about. These are things that are not done. And you want to know exactly why they're not done? It's because I'm going to be honest about this. And it doesn't matter how nice of a person you are. I'm not attacking the personality of anyone. What I'm attacking is just your ability to service the loan officer community, right? And the skill set is not parallel. I don't care if you're talking about Tom Ailes. I don't care if you're talking about Joe Shalabi at eMortgage Capital. I don't care if you're talking about Nexa, right? Those guys, Cordis, those guys cannot compete on the same level because they don't have the same experience. They weren't in IT. They don't understand data. Okay. They didn't make it to being top 10 in the country in origination. They can't do it. But I'm here now and I'm looking at everything and I'm saying there's a better way for the community to work. There's more value here that they can be brought. And that's exactly what this is. Let's talk about it. All right. So from the beginning to the end, right? From the beginning to the end, we're inside of BrokerAIQ, even when you're onboarding. So when you come on and onboarding, it's all seamless. You want to come work with us? Go to BrokerAIQ, register, and then boom, you'll be in there, right? We'll send you a contract. You'll be in a holding area. So then we'll get notified. We'll send you a contract. You'll review it. You'll sign it in there. You'll go to the next, which is Stripe, to do the payment processing. We'll talk about the platform fee. And then after that, there's a checklist. It says, hey, you registered, you paid your platform fee. Now we're working on your Salesforce. Now we're working on your email. Now we're working on this and that and that. And all these green lights will start to pop in as we complete those things, right? It takes about 7 days to get everything set up. But so then we go into what else we have. We have lender price. We have this AI product genie. We're doing live trainings which start next month, right? So that's going to be in there. I'll show you that. The community chat, the support line. Let's just do this. Let's just jump in. Let's stop this share here and jump into the platform, because I could talk about these things, but it's much better if I'm showing them to you. So hold on really quick. So I'm going to stop that share and we're going to get into BrokerAIQ. All right, let's do this. Let me just make sure you guys can see my screen. It's on stage. Oh yeah, you can see it. I can see it. All right, beautiful. All right, so yeah, go through this. This is just the beginning. And what we really have here, so exciting for me. Think about it as like, we have projects in life, and this is one of my big life projects. Like becoming a top originator was a big life project. This is a big life project, right? So it's an ecosystem. Everybody's a part of it. You, the loan officer, contract processors, account executives, realtors, all have the ability or persona to log into this particular platform. Okay. So you can go to BrokerAIQ.com. I'm already logged in. That's why it says dashboard, right? But if you want to come work at Client Direct Mortgage, then you go in here, log in, and this is how you start. You make an account. And then again, we'll be pinged. Okay. So look at the website, and it kind of tells you everything that BrokerAIQ offers. Well, not everything. We couldn't get everything on there. So it's really rich, but good amount. So let's go inside. All right, so this is where the magic happens. So I like to say there's like 3 or 4 pillars that are really going to be valuable to you. So I'll start in the upper left-hand corner because time is everything. Time, efficiency. You need to free up your time. I'm going to teach you, if you don't know it already, to really start thinking about time and say, these activities I need to be doing, these activities I'm going to let Client Direct and BrokerAIQ help me with. Okay, so if you need a login or this or that, you don't call the AE trying to chase them down. They don't answer the phone, all that kind of stuff. Please call our live support line. Okay, 9 hours a day, we're here for you. There's a group of 10 people sitting there waiting for you to call. Do you have a problem with your credit link? Do you need a login with something, right? Are you having trouble getting into the PPE engine, right? Do you have a question about a scenario and don't know how to use the product genie? We can call in and show you how to use it. Doesn't matter what it is. We're here to help you, okay? And the fastest way for you to get help is to pick up the phone and call somebody, right? So we have that piece right there. So that's our company support. Then we have Rocket here. So Rocket's one of our leading partners, and they have underwriters on the phone. So you can call this number, hit 2, option 2, and then you'll be talking to an underwriter about a scenario. So if you're already in a file, or you're about to submit a file, or you have a challenging file and you just don't know something, call Rocket, talk to one of their underwriters, and see if they can help you. Now, the cool thing about this is everything is recorded that they talk about. So if they tell you that you can do something and you actually get to the underwrite, I had this happen once. You actually get to the underwrite, and there's another underwriter had a different perspective and said you couldn't do it. They will still honor it based off that conversation you had with the SOS department. That's amazing. That's amazing, because what they're telling you has integrity. It's solid. It's answers that you can take to the bank. And when I say take to the bank, I mean take back to your client and your realtor, right? So that's amazing. Okay, so we have the live support, the product genie. Oh, this is my favorite. Okay, so we built out this platform. So we have 120 investors, our partners. We took all their guidelines, follow me here, and put it into a database called a vector database, right? Sits behind AI. Then we use Google Gemini, but we have our own personal Google Gemini, not the one that you go and like ChatGPT, all that kind of stuff. Not that one, right? We took the brain, if you will. So we said, hey, just give us the brain. We don't want it to have all the knowledge from or what it's been looking at throughout the internet. We just want the smart piece that AI brain actually is. So we went and got that. It's under developer. So you can be a developer and work with these AI models. So we said, hey, AI model, it's like our little baby, right? We want you to look at only guidelines, only lender guidelines. That's it, right? So we have our own building, and we're going to tell you this floor is the DSCR floor. This floor is the non-QM floor. This floor is the one-time close floor. This floor is the HELOC floor. And then as all these guidelines went in there, we label the guidelines. Okay, this is HELOC guidelines. This is that guidelines. And we put this all into a database. And we tell our little AI baby and say, hey, look at all this stuff. And the AI baby very fast becomes the AI toddler, smarts-wise. Then it becomes an AI teenager, smarts-wise. Then it becomes an AI adult, smarts-wise. And now our AI has turned into a wise old man in a very short period of time in looking at the guidelines that are uploaded. So you could do things like, okay, Just yesterday, somebody called me and they were looking for a jumbo deal up to 9 million. I was like, that's going to be hard, but we did find 2 lenders. Acra will do up to 10 million and American Heritage. Okay. So not only can you ask it the question, which lenders will do up to $9 million loan, right? So it says out of our lenders, it's these 2, right? So you click the links and you can see the actual guidelines. So you go in here and see exactly, there it is, non-QM jumbo loans up to 10 million and above. Okay, so you can come in here and see the actual pages in which the smart, our wise AI got the information from. We're not going out to the internet. We're not hallucinating. We're coming into real guidelines to shorten up the time. So you do not need to call the AEs for this information. You find out which lender you want to go with, then you go look at the AE, if that makes sense. Okay. So that's the AI Genie. Is powerful. No more crowdsourcing. No more going into Facebook groups asking, hey, anybody have somebody that can do a non-QM HELOC? Or anybody have somebody that can do a DSCR loan, right? In an LLC? Somebody asked me yesterday, need a DSCR loan that can be done in the name of LLC in New Jersey. Well, we have all these lenders. LLC, limited, blah, 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 talks all the actual guidelines. There you go, guidelines, right? Come here, and then after you come here and you figure out, okay, Resi Central is the one I want to go with, right? Then you come over here to account executives, okay? Here, follow me. This is a directory. This is how we do our lenders. We do it by account executives. So you saw in the product Genie that, you wanted to go with Resi Central, right? Because you like what it said on the guidelines. So you call Chaco. He's in here. Okay. All your information is at your fingertips. You can even have this thing on your freaking phone, right? I use the app on the phone all the time. It's amazing. I'm going to show it to you. Hold on really quick. I just want to see that it looks good when I hold it up. So that's the first page, right? That's just you can see that. It's just on my phone, right? Same thing, right? And then dashboard. See? It just goes up and down instead of side by side. Just scroll. See? Scroll, get what you need. You get the idea, right? It's all right there. It's at your fingertips. So if you need all your account executives information is right there. You're asking about any scenarios right there on your hip, in your pocket, in your purse. This is what I'm talking about with time. You can't spend 2 days to wait for an answer from a particular AE. If that AE doesn't answer, then forget it. Like, let's come back over. Let's go back to, all right, Chaco, you didn't answer, fine. I'm going to go back, and it saves all your thing. Now I'm going to go talk to, that was the DSCR one. Okay. That was Resi Central. Well, I'm going to go to PRMG or ARC, or ACC. I'm about to find the AE that answers the phone right now. I need to talk right now about my scenario, right? So you need that level of detail. I always had that, but I had it all fragmented in all these different systems. I had an Excel sheet over there, and I had this over there, and blah, blah, blah over there. And I had the ability still, because I was in IT, I can kind of like move around really good and stuff, right? But that doesn't work for you guys. You need a system like this, and this is why I built something so powerful for you guys, okay? All right. Now, let's go over to the other part that I think is really cool, okay? We have the training calendar. So all the AEs that you just saw are about to load in, okay, and do all of their trainings on different days. We do a lot of trainings. I'm going to teach about correspondent. So I'm going to do a training every month on correspondent, okay? I'm going to do a fireside chat just to let you know about what's going on, the Rocket relationship, the pilots that we're on. They're doing a lead program coming down that loan officers are going to be eligible for, all that kind of stuff, okay? Contract processors can do classes. We're going to offer them to be able to do classes to teach people how to structure files, especially new loan officers. They want to make a relationship with you so that way they can work with you into the future. We have Rocket, Penny, everybody's coming on to do these different classes. So a very rich, robust, and check this out. You don't have to chase links. If all these classes over a month, there'll be 25, 30 different Zoom links. It's crazy. I can't keep up with that stuff, right? So who's doing what, when, that's what this is about, okay? Let's clear out all the noise. Get rid of the links. Log into your BrokerAIQ, join the meeting right here. You don't need links anymore. Just come in, join. Zoom is built into our platform. So the meetings are sitting out there and you just come at the right time. That's all. Okay. So again, just more efficiency, common sense things. You will not find this at eMortgage Capital, C2, Expert, Edge. These guys cannot build this kind of stuff. This is proprietary. This is my vision. It comes from here, but it comes from all the experience too, and my ability to analyze things, right? So watch what happens. As I come out and talk about this more, I'm going to be talking about substantive things. The people that are at these other companies are going to more or less attack and not talk about, they're not going to want to compare, oh, well, we have this in comparison to that. And this is why our calendar is better of training. You won't never hear that, okay? Because it's going to prove that we're superior because we are. When I was a top originator and I went and I had no experience and I came out to win the top 10. So I'm not over there anymore. Now it's about, now I'm helping you originate. So, but I am going to come over here and compete. So all these brokers that were top, we're the number one, we're number two, you hear it, we're number three, woo, 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 right? We're coming for the top spot, just like we did over here on this side, right? Same mindset, same strategy, but it's all about being better tools, more efficiency, right? Growth. And speaking of growth, that's a nice segue for me to talk about the real estate agents. We just, I don't have that up. I wish I had something up. I'm not gonna try to like pull it up because it'd be a hassle to try to like get into it. Well, let me see. It's not that much of a hassle. I'm in. I think it's important to show you guys this. Okay, I just want to show you this. I want to show you growth, my growth perspective. Okay, bear with me because I'm going to have to now share a different screen. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's remove this. Let's add this. It's worth it. Now let's add this other little thing that we have going. All right. So here, I sent this email out to a bunch of realtors. I have the information on the top 29,000 40,000 realtors in America. They've done 12 deals or more across the states that we're in. So follow me. I'm going to say it again. There are 40,000 realtors. Okay. But the email, I think we only had like 23,000 or something like that. So I'm going to use the number 23,000. 23,000 realtors that sold buy side buyers 12 transactions or more over the course of a year. So we have all their contact information. So what I did is I invited them to the BrokerAIQ as well, because I want them, they have questions all the time with their mortgage people. But guess what the mortgage people don't do? I surveyed a lot of realtors. The top of the funnel, the number one complaint that realtors have against loan officers when they initially have a client and they want to engage the loan officer with the question is they do not answer their phone. They're not available, right? So now they don't have to be available necessarily. Come into the BrokerAIQ and ask the question that you want. So we're even bringing realtors in the platform. So we invited them. This is us inviting them. Look, register for free. They don't pay. Free account for them, right? But what are we doing? We're bringing realtors into our ecosystem at top of funnel, okay? And what that's going to do is I bake this through and I hold classes for the realtors and all that kind of stuff. It's going to lead to opportunities for you loan officers, right? And you can see here, we sent it out to 22,000 people. We had a 10% open rate. Good. We had 680 people click. Okay. Check this out. All these people clicked, 680. These are the exact realtors. I can see them. These are the ones interested. Okay. It goes on and on and on and on. This is value. When I say people can't compete with us, I'm not just saying it to be an ass. You know, I'm not just saying it to be egotistical, right? I work hard to produce things before I will even come out and mention them. But when it's time to get in the ring together and we've been working out and our muscles are bigger, we're going to talk about it, right? And we are going to compete, whether they like it or not. So we're going to compete for realtors. like Michael, Embre, whoever's doing his deals, Brian, Erica, Mindy, we're here to answer your questions and to give you a platform to get your question answered immediately. And once you get into our platform, there's other opportunities for you to do things too as a realtor. Okay. Now, you know, I'm doing a lot of back and forth in this one, a lot of stop and go on the hold on, I'm gonna stop sharing again. I'm going back the other way. I just wanted to show you what I was doing to grow realtors. Okay. Thought that was important. Okay, remove that one. Lock that screen, share screen. Back over here. Okay, beautiful. All right, so realtors will be in our platform. And then the realtors, as they get in the platform, we also are teaching them. We're also teaching them that they can come into the communities. Look at this. This doesn't stop, guys. This is like a version of Facebook groups and Slack. That's for everybody to speak. The account executives, the loan officers, the contract processors, the realtors can all come in here and start to talk about things. So you can come in and have conversations. So the realtors are going to come in and ask questions about what they're seeing in the BrokerAIQ. Why? Because I'm holding the class for the realtors to teach them how to use our platform for free. Go in there, ask your question, and then after that, if you need more color, you need more of an explanation, come into the community, post whatever question you have, and loan officers will come to answer your question. And then what do you think is going to happen after that? Call me offline. And what do you think is going to happen after that? All right, can you help the client with this deal? Why? Because they're not loyal. They're not loyal. I analyzed them. I'm a data guy, remember? IT data guy. I looked at all these realtors. I have how many loan officers they work with in the 12 deals that they closed on average. On average, 8 different loan officers for every 12 deals. No loyalty. They just want somebody that's going to be there and can service their client. But we'll have them in our platform. All right. This is the type of stuff that I think about, guys. And mind you, this is not, you know, you have a regular platform fee. This is all part of the platform fee. So, I mean, it's amazing. All right, I'm going to get going because we're getting kind of like behind here. Contract processors, they're in here, so you can find them. You can either do contract processing or you can do in-house processing. We talked about this, loan officer support. So we talked about support. There's this videos and stuff in there. Lender price is big. It's a big deal because we do have lender price as part of the system as well. So I just have to refresh it. So you can come in here and use the pricing engine. Everybody gets this. So, I mean, the BrokerAIQ is the SHIT, right? Because it has everything right here. It really does. It's pretty amazing. Live support. If you have product lookup you need from the AI Genie, if you're trying to do pricing, again, it's all right here, guys. All your account executives. Oh, and I didn't even talk about, and we even put in, these things are expensive. They're like $40 a month, but we have a password management system too. So all your passwords for all your lenders. So if you're calling, I need to log into this person. I need to log into that person. I need to log into this person. Okay, we'll help you get the logins, but we're going to ask that you put them into here as well and use it for your other stuff too, other systems you have. So password, right? Again, this is on your phone, easy. Okay, there's a bunch of recruitment. If you have other people that you want to send over to the company, please tell us about them. Coaches, we talk about all the different coaches that are out there. It just goes on and on. The vendor library is big. So if you want to get other things, business cards, this, that, you can come in here and let's look at these different companies, the different things that they offer, like FinLocker and all that good stuff, right? So just explore. Okay, so back to the dashboard. I'm going to kind of like shut this one down, and then we're going to go back over to wrap up. We're going to just talk about the costs or whatnot, okay? Okay. All right, cool. Now let me just go back over here so we could do finish this out. Okay, cool. So that should work. All right, so BrokerAIQ is the site. You know, oh, let's dive in. We dove in already. Okay, so BrokerAIQ is the site. So you guys have that there. Okay. Just to kind of finalize, we have the cost here. Okay, so it's $149 a month for this is our platform fee for the company. So $495 a file, $149 a month. You get Outlook. Office 365. So Word, your email, all that stuff. BrokerAIQ, the platform you just saw, and Salesforce. Our Salesforce is pretty neat. We do all of our operations and processing through the Salesforce. So the Salesforce is sort of like we do all the payroll. A lot of things are done through our Salesforce. If you're part of the pilot, the Rocket pilot, where we give you leads, then those leads are dispersed through the Salesforce, right? So everything, Salesforce is our main system. So you don't have to have like Arrive, LOS. You can use Arrive, you can use Calyx Point, you can use LendingPad. I don't care what you use, because eventually everything ends up in our Salesforce. Okay. So Salesforce does have a point of sale and a light POS. So if you don't do a ton of loans, or you're a person that likes to let the operations and our team do all that sort of stuff, and you just really want to focus on selling, then the Salesforce is probably the only thing that you need, right? So, but you can have Arrive optional at $68, or at $149 is required for those three things. Okay. All right. And I think that kind of, yeah, let's chat. Let's see if you guys have any questions. Okay. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, you got to see things from the loan officer's perspective, guys. You really do. Thanks, brother. Thanks. Hold on. See, I like when you guys give me like a cool. When you give me a cool saying, I always have to like take a picture of it, right? So it's like, yeah, it really is. That's what we tried to do. We tried to make it like, let's put everything in here that, the ultimate Swiss Army knife, if you will, like in the platform, right? That's what the goal was. So if we can put the ultimate Swiss Army knife, then we're good. Then we're good to go. All right. Well, guys, doesn't look like there's very many more questions. So we did a good job covering everything. I'm getting good at this now, right? I've been doing this for this is like my 4th or 5th week. So this is wonderful. I hope you guys come over, register at BrokerAIQ, and then kind of go from there. You can register, and then we'll get you a contract. If you have more questions, feel free to go onto the website. Everything is detailed there. That's the Join CDM. Join CDM. That's where you came probably to be able to get into this seminar. There's also a place for you to fill out an inquiry form. So if you want to talk or have a Calendly session together, one-on-one, you can go in there if you have more questions outside of this. And yeah, man, I'm excited, guys. Looking forward to you guys coming onto the platform. All right, talk soon.